Right, hi guys. Just to let you know, I'm Chipmunk's, I guess, girlfriend. He's asked me to basically do a review on one of my artillery pieces. Well, one of my only artillery pieces really. I tend to play them, but I don't play often. So, earlier on you just saw me like scanning around. Actually, I was just trying to work out where to hide. And one thing I've always found though, it's that artillery players tend to be either tree huggers or bush huggers, the nature loving camo people. Well, it's for good reason really. It's like tank destroyers. You just want to hide as much as possible. Because you never know when a light tank will just come up and make your day really short. So, no, this tank doesn't have much of an engine to it, but it can reach a good speed given enough time. So it's actually one of the faster ones of the tier. And also I think one of the more armoured ones too. So people tend to don't understand when they're like shooting you with a light tank with a small gun and you're just like slightly angling your armour. I've just given a gauge of how far I can shoot on this map, considering that this map is actually quite large, and as you can tell I try and move further back up the hill to try and gain some more altitude, but it doesn't really help. One of my favourite targets right early on in the game are actually tank destroyers, because they can actually ruin your day, and ruin your team's day actually, to be honest. They can do a serious amount of damage very early on. Well, I decided not to go for the tracked medium because I knew he was on low health and my team would probably take him out. Or, in that case, have a repair kit. So I tend to target mostly on heavies because they're slow, lumberous and large targets. As you can tell there wasn't an explosion where I shot, which means that my shell actually penetrated and went into him. And not many people actually remember that. So yeah, hit him again. He's probably tracked, but one thing I've noticed when I watch this through again is the fact that I fire and shoot again, hit again, but he's probably just like went, I've had enough of this. And what I don't notice is when he's just appeared down at the bottom of the screen there and I end up firing and wasting his shell and time. So one thing you really must do when you're an artillery player is notice everything. As much as people go, oh, artillery's really easy, you have to really, really notice things. It's like playing Where's Wally with tanks. But they're moving. So yeah, I ended up missing that shot, just because I ended up not firing it sooner. Plus with the scatter as well, you can't really focus it well. But what I try and do is work out the speed of the tank, aim a bit further on, get it zeroed in, and then fire early on, like so. What you tend to find is the fact that you end up tracking a lot of the time, or that people have, for example, repair kits. So you have to keep an eye on them, just in case they move, so you can shoot again. And of course he crested over the hill, so I got some top-down damage, and hence hit him, ran, explosion. I prefer playing artillery tanks simply because you get to watch people explode from afar, yes, but it requires a lot more forward planning in some cases where you have to concentrate on how fast the tank is, how large they are, how quickly you can get your targeting reticle down, how much is your reload. Plus, you have to concentrate on the minimap a lot because you are your team's eyes. And if an artillery player completely blames their team, then they're not focusing. Hence, I should have forward planned and thought, well, he'd actually be moving from cover to cover and aiming on one of my friendlies. So I could have actually shot in between those, those buildings there, which could have saved my friend some extra hit points. So I tend to play low tier, and of course I end up using the minimap signalling a lot, just to let my team members know what's happening and where it is. Yeah, he says good game, we lose. It's like, well, at this point I was kind of nervous anyway, seeing as though my guys are kind of low on health anyway, and I had a medium that could have just beelined straight towards me and killed me without having too much trouble. As you notice on the opponent's team, that their tank destroyer has just gained another kill. He's actually playing it pretty well. It's like he's not actually turned up on any of our detection, and still keeps taking us out one by one. So now we're 4 against 4. Yeah, we've got 2 heavies, medium and me. And on the opposing team we've got a heavy, medium and a tank destroyer. Well, the tank destroyer is one of the reasons as to why they're nasty, is the fact that they can kind of cancel out one of your heavies easily. Particularly if they can get a really nice shot, which I think, from what I've been told, the Panzer Soufflé is what it's called. Yep, I just blind shotted the medium. I basically worked out whereabouts he'd be in the distance. Yep, and one of our heavies has just been taken out by the Panzer Soufflé. So yeah, he's now on 5 kills, and we have a heavy who's going on unsupported. I can't actually support him because he's out of range, because my range limits the bridge. And the medium is kind of scouting on his own. But I'm still frolicking in the woods. What I really should have done was actually repositioned one up the hill, to basically give myself a little bit extra scope of what I can and can't do. But instead I decided to stick around. But it's nice when you can re-watch yourself and find out you made so many mistakes. At the time I was just focusing on trying to find these 2 and thought, well, if I needed to move, I can't really support my friends. Again, a nice juicy large target. Not as large as the Tog though, but large. I missed, but I'm stating that I'm focusing on this target here, basically to let my medium know, but again, the Panzer's just taken out a heavy. Like I said, they're really nasty against the heavies. And now it's just me and the tank destroyer. And there I kind of swear. For good reason, to be honest. I can't really one-shot kill him. Particularly if it's going to go like front first. Because like most tank destroyers, they tend to be pretty nasty up front. So this is where I pretty much ask how that happened, seeing as though the other team were pretty resolved in the fact that they would lose, but yeah, the heavy replies I don't really understand, but and this is where I'm thinking of what I should really be doing, and I listened to my KV1 friend. I went, okay, he might be like heading through the town, but I do absolutely nothing about it. I just move, which removes my camo, and I've realised that if I get spotted, I am dead. Well, that's pretty much unanimous, whatever you do as an artillery player. Regardless of what happens. But while I'm waiting, I'll just give a couple of hints and stuff of how to play artillery a little bit more. To bring up the top view, not many people that I've seen know that you just press shift. They just tend to play them like tank destroyers for like up to tier 4, and then realise why they're dying so often, and then they say, I don't like artillery. But from what I've been playing, and I haven't played that many games, I basically found that I don't get any flack from my team going artillery play's been rubbish and all this other stuff. But I have been warned that as soon as you hit beyond tier 5 and such, that's when the trolls start hitting you hard. So yeah, I'm still kind of waiting. Could probably play a different song. Here we go, he just turned up. I was really unlucky with this shot. Because I've been told, in hindsight, because you just watch it here and he's got this really bad traverse speed, but I end up fishtailing him so that he's pretty much in front of me, and yeah, I pretty much get killed. Pretty much the normal time of an artillery player.